Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and if you've been subscribed to me, you know that earlier in the spring I started doing videos with comic book recommendations for upcoming comic book movies in 2016. I already did one for Dawn of Justice, Civil War, and X-Men Apocalypse, just to name. So far, I put them in a playlist, which the link should be in the description to this video below. I'm going to start doing it. That'll be much easier to find in case you want to see some other videos that with other recommendations for future movies. The objective, usually I'm going to try to upload these videos with either exactly or within 1 year of the release date for the film in question. And today I'm going to be giving you some comic book recommendations for the Suicide Squad movie. Let's get started. The first book I'm going to recommend is Suicide Squad Volume 1, Trial by Fire. This collects the first 8 Suicide Squad issues written by creator John Ostrander, as well as a Secret Origin issue that Ostrander wrote prior to the Suicide Squad series to give further background on the Suicide Squad. The name of the Suicide Squad, also more background on Rick Flag and Amanda Waller. And Amanda Waller is telling all this to President Reagan by getting him to approve the idea for the new Suicide Squad, which is using super criminals to take on suicide missions. And at the beginning of the first volume, the team goes on a mission where they take on the superpowered terrorists for hire known as the Jihad, whose names were later changed to Onslaught. And the next major mission that they go on is a mission to Soviet Russia, where they have to break out a political prisoner, but things get complicated when first the prisoner doesn't want to leave and wants to die there in order to become a martyr for her beliefs. And the second thing that goes wrong is team member Enchantress loses control and starts screwing up the entire mission. I recommend you definitely check out the first volume of Suicide Squad because John Ostrander sets the Suicide Squad up in a very action-packed thrill ride. Also, he makes the book live up to its name by killing off someone within the second issue. To me, that basically sold to me like, yeah, people are gonna die right there. That's what sold it to me. Also, a lot of lists, when I was researching Suicide Squad and what stories to read, a lot of the lists do say John Ostrander's run. A lot of them mention stories by John Ostrander, and you know that makes sense. He's the creator. He would have the best stories. Ostrander's Suicide Squad run, all of the issues are available digitally on Comixology, but there are trade paperbacks that do collect them. Unfortunately though, this is the only volume right now that collects John Ostrander's run in trade paperback format, but luckily this September DC is going to be republishing this volume, Volume 1 again, and then in the following February we're finally going to get Volume 2, so yay. So if you're patient, you can get the issues in trade, or you can just wait or you can just get a tablet and buy them all digitally. The next story I'm going to recommend is Suicide Squad From the Ashes. Rick Flag is brought back into a newly formed Suicide Squad, where Amanda Waller reveals a stunning revelation that Rick Flag Sr. never had a son, and that the Rick Flag Jr. that we've all known for years is actually a soldier named Anthony Miller, who was brainwashed by General Eiling into joining the new Suicide Squad back when Amanda Waller first formed it. And basically the entire premise, and basically after that, this is just an 8-issue miniseries, and after that the plot is basically the squad is then sent on a mission to stop a corporation from releasing a deadly virus, and they also have to assassinate the board of directors so they don't so no one else will leak information about the virus. And of course, while the squad is planning to take them all out, General Eiling, who apparently switched bodies with Shaggy Man and is now basically like a gray version of the Hulk with tusks, is apparently making a deal with one of the board members from the corporation in order to get paid a lot, and also take out the Suicide Squad, and also cause a mutiny within the Suicide Squad. Okay, gotta be honest, this isn't really a Suicide Squad story. This is really more of a Rick Flag story, and also it's kind of an epilogue, and also it kind of prior to this story though, Rick Flag Rick Flag died in the previous Suicide Squad ongoing series, and then he was brought back in a Checkmate story arc. So I think this is kind of John Ostrander's way of. John Ostrander wrote this, by the way. He's the original creator of the Suicide Squad, and he basically told them and this is kind of his way of just kind of explaining like how Rick Flag came back and what exactly happened to him. So it's really more of a Rick Flag centered story with like the Suicide Squad being featured players, so to speak. And honestly, Rick Flag is an interesting character because he's one of the only members of the Suicide Squad that isn't a convicted criminal. He's doing it because, well, to serve his country, and that's it. And it's very interesting to know what Flag's reaction is at the end of the mission when he realizes that, you know, he's not really Rick Flag Jr. and he could leave. So it's definitely a very character-centered story arc for Rick Flag. And honestly, he is one of the interesting characters in Suicide Squad. And also, I think this miniseries does kind of serve as sort of an epilogue to John Ostrander's Suicide Squad run. So honestly, if you took my advice from the first story I recommended and you checked out John Ostrander's Suicide Squad run and you want more, check out this series. The final story I'm going to recommend is Volume 1 of the New 52 Suicide Squad series. The opening arc to the New 52 Squad has them recovering a newborn infant who holds the key to a viral outbreak. Then after those couple of issues, they deal with a metahuman riot in Belle Reve Prison, which is kind of the Suicide Squad's main base of operations. And then they have to deal with Harley Quinn, who escaped during the riot because right when they got back from their mission, someone deactivated the nanobombs that they implant in the squad members early, and she got away. And Harley went to Gotham to recover Joker's face, because all this takes place at the start of the New 52. And if you remember, Joker has face cut off, and so Harley went to Gotham to get Joker's face back. All right. One of the main notable differences between the New 52 Suicide Squad and the one before it is that Rick Flag does not exist. He is not a member of the Suicide Squad. I mean, Amanda Waller's there, Deadshot is there, but no Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang is there, but no Rick Flag. And because of that, Deadshot is now the new field leader. Well, I wouldn't say new, but the main field leader. Also, he's the main character of the book in a way because he's the one doing all of the narration in every single issue of the Suicide Squad. Also, Amanda Waller is involved, but but in this case, she's not just the boss of the Suicide Squad, but she's also the head warden of Belle Reve Prison, which is a little different than what she. Because I remember in the previous Suicide Squad, in the pre-New 52 Suicide Squad, there was another. Belle Reve still had a warden in addition to Amanda Waller running the squad there. So in this case, Waller's kind of doing both jobs. Also, this series though was, I felt at times, a little more darker than the first one, mainly because before joining officially the Suicide Squad, I mean, the way this story opens up, we see every single member of the squad being tortured for information about the team and who's in charge and everything, and then we find out that this was all a ruse. It was basically Amanda Waller's final test to make sure each person would be a functional member of Task Force X and would remain quiet about it. Also, the nanobombs that are implanted in every single team member, so they don't run off or anything, they just can't be remotely detonated this time. Every single one is also on a timer. So now, if the squad doesn't complete a mission on time, they all go boom. So I thought that was definitely a darker way of going it. Also, the series is more violent. I mean, obviously because they're criminals. I mean, that's something they really want. I mean, that's something I felt like they really drove home with the New 52 Suicide Squad, was that these are criminals. These are bad guys. They are extremely violent and everything like that. Also, it had the recurring theme that every single member is that no one really cares about these guys, not even the people in charge of them, because every single one is very expendable. I mean, after every mission, if someone is too badly injured to carry on, Waller will just immediately replace them. So yeah, that also reminded me about how hardcore Amanda Waller could be. The reason I decided to recommend the New 52 Suicide Squad is because the lineup in this series is a lot more similar to the lineup that we have in the film. I mean, well, for one thing, they're using Harley Quinn, which I don't blame them. Harley is very popular, which, you know, of course, is because of the Batman the Animated Series, and I think Harley's popularity in comics was probably due to her addition on the Suicide Squad when the New 52 started, because I can tell you right now, when they announced the New 52 titles and I saw Harley Quinn on the Suicide Squad, I was very tempted to get it when it first came out, but I didn't. So yeah, that's why I recommend checking out the New 52 Suicide Squad. Although, if I had a choice between the New 52 Squad and the Ostrander Suicide Squad, I would probably go Ostrander all the way. So those are all the stories I recommend for you read before checking out the Suicide Squad coming out next summer. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of those recommendations? Did I leave anything out? Let me know in the comments below. Also, check out my other videos that I mentioned earlier where I recommend some other comics for some movies coming out. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these videos. I am planning on doing a video for Gambit and Doctor Strange coming out this fall, coming out within the next couple months. Again, I'm trying to align these more within 1 year of the release date for the movies. Okay? So, again, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and for all your support. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.